here on the final day of the T20 tournament. Just running through, I did some streaming last night and some playing, but start some videos today, kind of running through things. This is the T20 lineup. It's a lineup of mystery games that are unveiled for a weekend, and competitors have to score on all 20 games. And the person who plays the most consistently takes the top prize. Top prize this year is $500. So a bit of money on the line this weekend. The first game was Cubert's Cubes, the sequel to Cubert. There was the original Cubert, then the follow-up Cubert's Cubes, and then there were things that were ported to home as well, like the Super Nintendo's Cubert 3. But this one tries to kind of play on the 3D element a little bit more. Let's see if the demo will come back up here. But that's going to take a little bit, but you get an idea. There's more of the Jeff Lee art. So it's a pretty colorful cabinet. And then next up is Bally and Midway's Bank Panic. Not really sure how to describe this game as its genre. It's kind of, I guess, shooting gallery would be the way to describe it, because there's the 3 buttons. There's only 3 buttons. It's for left hand and right hand. That way you can, if you're left-handed or right-handed, you can vary your play style. But you navigate through the bank, and the doors will swing open. You have to just leave the people who are depositing their cash alone. There'll be people trying to rob the bank, and you have to quick draw and shoot those people before they shoot you. There's just a variety of like reactionary. And the game gets a little bit more intense as you progress through the levels. And then here is the Crystal of Kings. This is a later release Breeza soft game. It's a beat 'em up. It's with a monitor here. It's going to be a little harder to see, but it's a fantasy beat 'em up game. You get weapon attacks and magic. A lot of really good art in the game. And this is one I was completely unfamiliar with before the tournament. It's Gottliebs Reactor. It's a trackball game based off of like a nuclear theme. Let's see if the demo pops up here. For its time, it has some pretty cool sound. It's got kind of like that trademark Robotron sounds, but it has a really cool music loop that plays when the game is over. But you gotta try to keep, you gotta smash those little atoms against the wall, and then you can get them in the containment areas for bonus points. Here's Venture. I actually haven't checked this game out yet, so it's a 1981 game. Let's see up here. It looks like a little maze adventure style game. And there is a site of event full of Konami games. Here's one of them, Devastators. For most people with the arcade scene, they're familiar with G.I. Joe, but this came before G.I. Joe. This is kind of the same idea, but you have to move the screen forward yourself. And there's incredibly strict time limits as well. That's kind of a big challenge of the game. Next here, Super Muscle Bomber is part of the T20. This is the sequel to Saturday Night Slam Masters. This is the Japanese version. That's why it goes under the Muscle Bomber name. This is called Ring of Destruction in the U.S. It's wrestling themed, but the sequel is more of a one-on-one fighting game with 2D movement, jumping, a little bit more focus on attacks, but you can still grapple and do the pro wrestling move. Here's Taito's Polaris. It's older submarine game, 1980. So I'm familiar with things like, because of Die Hard Arcade on the Saturn, I'm familiar with like Deep Scan, and this reminds me of that game. But this one you can use your sub to fire upward, fire at the ships. Chase HQ. This is a Taito vehicle-based game, but as opposed to racing, this one you're a police officer in your vehicle and you're tracking down. You're on the chase for suspects, and when you find the suspect, the little lights pop on, and basically have to run into them until they crash. It's a cool game. And these next two are part of the Konami side event. Crime Fighters, beat 'em up. Pretty hokey game, but it's not very fun to score run, but it's definitely challenging. I guess it's interesting in the fact that the game does so much to screw you over that it feels it's quite an accomplishment to do well in this game. And I'm not sure what the standings are at this point. I don't get to come out to the arcade a lot, but this is one that I trade the house high score a lot with another person on it. And next to that is Spy Special Project Y. It's another Konami game. 1989. Uses a variety of different setups. There's shooting segments, there's brawling segments. Here's one of the shooting segments. They're on jetpacks, so it's just it's an action game that throws in as many spy tropes as it possibly can. And the next game in T20 is Blazing Star. Blazing Star is I don't know if it's a direct sequel, but prior to that, I know it's up here somewhere. Here it is, Polestar. It's kind of a pseudo sequel or a direct sequel. I'm not sure to Polestar, but it's a shoot 'em up, really good shoot 'em up too, for the NeoGeo. Has a good bit of challenge and some interesting score mechanics with multipliers. And then this is 8-man. It's kind of a, geez, that's loud, superhero themed side-scrolling action game. Basically the punching and kick. It's kind of like Altered Beast in a way, but has the Japanese superhero theme to it. And this is Tunnel Hunt. It's kind of a unique cabinet. It does have kind of a little bunker here. You can hide yourself in the tunnel. But has the joystick. This is another one. I haven't had a chance to try it out myself, but really interesting concept. And next to that is Astro Blaster. This one is it's a shooting game, kind of akin to Space Invaders. There's a credit in the machine, so it probably won't skip to a demo. But it isn't exactly the same, but it does kind of remind me of Astro Smash for the, I had it on the Xbox 360 game room, so I believe it was in television, so I'm sorry if that's incorrect. We have Piranha, and this isn't even ashamed to be a complete clone of Pac-Man. Very similar sound effects and everything, but it's you control the Piranha. Instead of ghosts, there's octopi. And you gotta get the little get the little power-up so you can eat the octopus. And you eat all the dots in a maze to progress. Not really much else to say about this one. This one's probably on track to be the least favorite game in the tournament, to be honest. Next to that is Two Tigers. It's an interesting shooting game. You fly airplanes, use the controls here, but there's battleships at the bottom of the stage, and you shoot down planes to damage the battleship. The goal is to destroy the battleship, and you can drop bombs occasionally, but the main goal is to get the planes to crash into the ship. And if you let If you let the ships escape, then that's when you get your game over. Right now, Joel's playing Lunar Rescue.
Yeah, Lunar Rescue, which I will always play again.
So that's another, not quite like Lunar Lander, but the physics, the thruster physics are there, and you can shoot. You're trying to dock into the ship at the top there. It's another Taito release, and this one's been getting a lot of play too, especially on the NES lately because of things like Best of 20. But Marble Madness is in the tournament as well. I need to get my hands on this, the trackball version. When I played it as a kid, it was always on the Commodore 64. Last lineup of games. There's Rolling Thunder. I'll try to get over here. Side-scrolling game. Here's Star Trek Strategic Operations Simulator. It's a vector-based game. It's another one I haven't been able to try for myself yet. So at the moment, I honestly don't know much about that one. And next to that is Taito's Rambo Through. It's the run and gun style game, so much like Cabal, but featuring Rambo. You can move left and right. You can fire your gun and shoot your bow and arrow with the missiles. So just a pretty straightforward action shooter, but it's pretty decent. Next to that, we have Super Contra, sequel to Contra. I'm sure most people are familiar with that one. Next to that is Crazy Climber. It's an old Taito release that uses double joysticks. Get your little man to climb up the buildings. Gotta watch out for hazards, things falling down. Gotta watch the windows trying to close in on your hands. And the last part of the Konami side tournament, Salamander II is included in the tournament. Salamander did release in the US under the title Life Force, and this is, well, Life Force is similar to Gradius. This is a direct sequel to Salamander. And straying from the path just a little bit, you don't get the little power-up capsules, and to trigger your power-ups, you collect the little power-up capsules, and they give you the power-ups based on the letter that's on the power-up. These were the T20 rankings as they stood Sunday morning. This right here is the Konami side event. So Stephen Lucas is up top, but Fred DeHart's only back by 1 point. I know they were trading spy scores last night, so we'll see what happens with that. But once this pops back up here, this will be the main tournament. There we go. Zurst is still in number one, but actually the lead is narrowing. At certain points he had a fairly commanding lead, but Martin and Jamie are closing that in, and James is doing pretty well, as well as Matt. They're all above 200, but you can't count anybody out here. And then these are the individual leaderboards for the games. Just the score rankings for every game that's in the tournament.
But for now, let's announce the winners of the side tournament first, which was a Konami Manufacturers tournament. There were 5 games: Spy, Special Project Y, Crime Fighters, Super Contra, Salamander II, and Devastators. And the winner of that is Fred DeHart, former Gamer of the Year. So congratulations to him. Unfortunately, he is not here, but claiming his prize will be none other than former Game of the Year, Matt Walters. Oh.
Fred was devastated that he couldn't be here today. Get it? Devastated?
I get it.
Okay.
Excellent, excellent. Fred will be walking away with $100 in cash.
It's on stream, so
It's as good as a receipt. And 5 of our ghost coins as an added bonus. So, thank you, Matt. What did you think of the side tournament?
I loved the side tournament, except for Crime Fighters. I've got to say, Crime Fighters, not my favorite game, but I thought it was an excellent side event, and I thought it was a good selection of games. I thought it was a good challenge for people that was very different from the main tournament. So,
awesome. Thank you very much. Thank you, Matt Walters. Everybody, let's go on for top 3. No, third place, we have Jamie Tibbetts, our Gamer of the Year. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. For you,
Already?
for you, we have $100. So what did you think of the tournament?
Oh, I love all tournaments. So you can put any games in front of me, I'll play them.
Awesome. So, and you get a cookie.
I already had 2.
All right. Jamie Tibbetts, third place in T20. Second place is Martin Bedard. Congratulations, man. You're awesome as always. We always look forward to seeing you come out here, and you set so many amazing scores every time you're here. So congratulations. What did you think of the tournament?
It was very good. I like the mix of games this year. There's nothing outright terrible, like except Qbert that I don't like, but everything else was pretty good, and no titles that people ran away with either. So everything was very close.
Awesome. Was there a particular favorite?
No, not 8-man. It's funny. I kind of like Marble Madness right now. I haven't been forced to play it much previously, but now I kind of want to finish it. So it's a fun game.
Awesome. Well, congratulations. I'm glad you liked the tournament. For you, we have $200. And now, we're bringing out the T20 belt.
Former champion.
The former. We don't ever call them former if they're holding on to it. Let's bring up Zurst, your current T20 champion, your returning champion. I hope you didn't fill up that spot where you had that sitting.
No, I knew I'd be getting it back.
Ooh, the confidence. Excellent. What did you think of the tournament?
I think it was great. I basically knew none of the games coming in, so I got to learn a lot of really fun ones.
Do you have a personal favorite walking out of here?
I think Bank Panic. It's a really simple game, and there's a lot of strategy to it and timing.
Do you think you're going to be playing that more this weekend while you're here, or?
Maybe.
Awesome. Well, for you, we have $500. Thanks, everybody. This is Doc Mack from the Galloping Ghost Arcade, and we hope to see you around the arcade soon. Thanks a lot.